Hi everybody, hey, so I'm here for another episode of Black Span. I'm actually in the truck because I'm about to clean it, but I want to talk real quick because everybody's talking about Juvia's place and this whole Jeffree Star thing. Now we already know who Jeffree Star is. He's a little racist makeup commentator. He did that one video where he was pretending like he was a black girl with a red wig on, talking about, I beat Keisha up, I threw battery acid on her, she need to lighten up her skin, and all this bullshit. So and people are surprised that Juvia's place posted him or was proud of his review. So one, let's understand business is business. Then two, he did a review on Crayon Case, and what's her name? Super told him thank you as well. The only difference is Super tells everybody thank you. She shows love to the black MUAs in the community. She comes out, she gives MUAs free makeup. She look out, you know what I mean? So that's the difference between Juvia's place and the fact that Juvia's place reposted a debt of gratitude to Jeffree Star, to how what's her name? Super posted a thank you to Jeffree Star. Because you have to understand, Super said thank you to everybody who pushed her makeup line. Everybody who did a review got posted, got shouted out. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just when the white folk did it, was she like, oh, thank you for reviewing Crayon Case. Nah, shit, sis so lucky and so blessed, she didn't even sue Crayon for stealing her makeup idea. She ain't with none of that petty shit. So for her to say thank you to Jeffree Star probably got lost in the sauce in a slew of thank yous, because she was showing love to everybody, black, white, and brown, but especially black, because Homegirl came out to Houston and gave makeup out to every makeup artist out here. Even I got a backpack and I do hair. I don't do makeup professionally. So back to Juvia's place. We have to understand that the oppression that we receive here in America is a lot different from the oppression that they receive in Africa. African oppression is a forceful and a mental oppression, while our oppression here is just violent and political. Theirs is violent, political, and it's also more aggressive than ours because they have been oppressed for longer. They were colonized before we got colonized. It was their colonization that led Henry the Navigator, Christopher Columbus, and Isabella and all them other motherfuckers who sought claim to African territory to say, hey, it might be some more of them out there. Let's be voyagers like them and see what else we can find. We were the first global people, and then they decided to follow in our footsteps like they do everything else. It's for, if we want to be small time, we can say like they do in fashion and everything else. So anyway, we have Juvia, who said thank you to Jeffree Star, who's a known racist and stuff like that. But you gotta understand, number one, she is what's the N word? Not Nairobi. I'm thinking about hair again. I'm sorry. She is Nigerian. So Nigerians look down on us black Americans. Number one. You know what I'm saying? They really look down on us as far as like, oh, well, shit. We go to America and we start balling, and then how come they can't do it? They don't understand the education is different, the oppression is different, and stuff of that nature. So, and them, they have a close relationship with their colonizer, whereas in Africa, you will, like, say, for example, you go to South Africa. You won't see no Africans there. You barely find some African food. You know what I'm saying? You won't get down to the nitty-gritty of what Africa is unless you go to Kenya, you go further east, things of that nature. Now, she may be Nigerian, but she is brought up in South Africa, and then I think she's somewhere in Jersey now. Anyway, so they look at blacks different. So she might not have had the proper respect for the black MUAs out here because of her conditioned mentality towards the black American female. You know what I mean? Or the Aboriginal female here on this land they now call America. You know what I mean? She doesn't know our political strifes, what we have to go through. She probably don't know nothing about the Civil War, which is nothing civil about it. She probably doesn't know anything about Jim Crow. Don't drink out this water fountain. Because remember, their apartheid may have mirrored our Jim Crow, but their apartheid was a lot more civil than ours was. You know what I mean? Yeah, people died and stuff like that, but their apartheid was more like, okay, this is where y'all live, this is where we live. It was more like segregation. It wasn't like black water fountain here, white water fountain here. Nah, all that shit over there is black, and then all this shit over here is white, or all this over here is African, and all this over here is European. You know what I mean? There was no black and white restroom because, hey, everything over here is white and everything over there is black. That's what the apartheid was. Whereas for us, we had Jim Crow, where we had to live and function within our oppressor. We went to the to a restaurant, we went through the back door, where they went into the front door. Where their apartheid is, their black restaurant was their black restaurant, and their European restaurant was their European restaurant. So she comes from a different psychological abuse than our psychological abuse. You know what I mean? So, and then they grew to love and respect their oppressor due to sellout. You know what I mean? When you have your tribal men, your chiefs and everything, like for example, I think it's the Botswana tribe, one of the mightiest tribes in Africa, had one of the chieftain's sons went and married that English woman, and now the whole tribe is now white. You see what I'm saying? So, oh shit, there's a wasp. And it's hot out there, but I love y'all enough to be hot. The trunk is open. I don't think they're gonna fly back there. I need to clean out my car though. My windows was down while it was raining last night. Ugh. Anyway, so I think the wasp is gone. I need a breeze. So so for her not telling us thank you didn't dawn on her, because really it was fuck us from the gate. You have to understand, they have a colonial mindset. Their colonial mindset is probably, I would say, 400 years older than when our oppression first started. You know what I'm saying? They was already catching hell. You know, the Zulus fought for 162 years prior to them even being able to adequately claim South Africa before Cape Town was able to expand throughout the whole south of Africa. You gotta understand that. So they was catching hell way before us. They was dealing with Napoleon, you know what I'm saying, 400 years. They was dealing with people like Napoleon 400 years before we was dealing with Napoleon. You know, they had Alexander and all the other motherfuckers over there stealing shit prior to us. So since their oppression had a head start, their love for their oppressor had a head start, and their admiration for their oppressor had a head start, and them living within a society with their oppressor had a head start. Whereas we have always been like, man, fuck that shit, we ain't down with it at all. Even King said his dream became a nightmare, where they now have a Julius Malema, head of the EFF, who is now saying expropriation without compensation. So they're just now getting into their military mindset post Patrice Lumumba days. You know what I'm saying? Because all their leaders, you know how they are killing all leaders here, where they killed the bloodline of Malcolm X and stuff like that. Patrice Lumumba was their Malcolm X, and he got fucked off long before we had, you know, ours. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not defending her. I'm not saying that Chichi is wrong in any way, or not wrong in any way. What I'm saying is that they have a more affinity for their oppressor than we have for our oppressor. You know what I mean? But I guess they got used to it, so to speak. So when the white man tells them something is great, they are for it. You know what I mean? There are less military revolutionary minds in Kemet or Africa, whatever you want to call it, than you know what I'm saying, than there are here. You know what I'm saying? We have more revolutionary spirit down this part than they do in that part, in that region. You know what I mean? Because remember, it was harder to enslave the Aborigine here. It was harder to get the Aboriginals, the Muskogees, the Chickasaws. It was harder to get us. It was harder to get the Jamaicans, the Haitians, the Dominicans. You know, it was harder to get them than it was for them to get the Africans. You know, you look at my video of you are Aboriginal, you're not African, and I kind of hit on the out of Africa theory, which I'm going to expand upon in another video to kind of really let you understand what's happening here. So they don't have a respect for the Aboriginal woman here as they should. Because remember, they don't view us as African Americans because they know that we ain't from Africa. If we want to go to that whole global thing, yeah, we are global people. And about 2,000-3,000 years ago, people like us migrated from Africa and voyaged out to find new lands and then created what we call America now. But we are 2,000-3,000 years removed from that particular culture, which was not a monolithic culture. And we want a monolithic culture here. We were just all grouped together because we had the same genotypical features. You know what I'm saying? Like most Mexicans look like you and I. Most Spanish speaking enslaved Aborigine look like you and I. Just the ones that get really, really pale have a lot of European in their blood. If you don't believe me, go look at a lot of those ancestral revelation or reveals or whatever the fuck you want to call it that the Hispanics do. And you'll find that they are Native, Aboriginal, and European. You know what I mean? With a couple other things thrown up in there. Anyway, so with that being said, we gotta kind of understand Chi-Chi's brainwashed ways. It's not that she intends to be that way. Of course, she should pick up on her wrongs and rectify that shit. You know, don't go trying to email your black makeup artist or your black MUAs or your dark hair or more melanated MUAs when you get a complexion line where you need people of different hues to test your shit out. You know, when they was just using your eyeliner and your lip stuff and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, they couldn't get no shout out or no thank you or no email. But now that you need them to actually put that shit on their face, you know what I'm saying, now you want to embrace them. But then I want to call out all the black MUAs too, because I didn't see Ashanti Beverly Hills giving y'all a bunch of thank yous and a bunch of platforms. I could be wrong because I'm not really in that arena of, you know, I'm more of the political science sociology person. This file's kind of in the realm of sociology, which is why I'm speaking on it. So we got to understand Chi-Chi, number one, is more familiar, has a more of affinity with her oppressor than she does the Aboriginal woman of America. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, of course, Chi-Chi is going to give a thank you out to the likes of a Jeffree Star before us, because when he's talking or defaming black women, she ain't taking it like he talking about me. He talking about those Aboriginal women of America. He talking about those blacks, those niggas. Remember, they differentiate themselves. Look, like Jackie Aina said, all skin folk and kinfolk. So a lot of Africans, you know, I know she's Nigerian as well, but I think she's a little more politically and socially woke and accepting than her sister Chi-Chi. The lady who's supposed to own Juvia's place. I always think she's the black face in front of it and that she don't own none of it, but that's just me. You know, that's just pure speculation on my part, just by looking at how the company is run. But yeah, so they have a very difference in opinion when it comes to us. Like, just because we all look alike don't mean we all in this like this sisterhood as it should be. It's not like that. So when Jeffree Star is talking shit about niggas and nigga this and nigga that and this, that, and the third, in her mind, he ain't talking about me or my people. He ain't talking about Nigerians. He ain't talking about Africans. He talking about them. Notice how my hand is going down. He's talking about them. He's not talking about us and we. You know what I'm saying? We different people. So she's not thinking that she's being disloyal to her people, because bitch, we not her people. She's exploiting the Aboriginal American woman just like everybody else do. She's participating in capitalism just like everybody else is. You know what I mean? So, and once we understand that, you know, when I say support black business, I mean support an Aboriginal here of America's business. Not someone that look like you that's from another continent. I'm talking about support the businesses from on this land, on this turf, from your Aboriginal melanated brothers and sisters. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, oh, just because they dark skinned or they from Africa, you know what I'm saying, that that's supporting black business. They ain't supporting black business. You know what I'm saying? Just like I like Lovely T gossip channel, but you know what I'm saying, she don't never get in them Africans' ass when they do fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of fuck shit going on, but I guess because she's reporting on American news, I don't know. You know what I mean? But I like to look at Aboriginal women, talk about Aboriginal women. I feel more comfortable doing that. Like, I would rather look at Tasha K talk shit about Aboriginal women here because she's one of us. She out the ghetto. She from Florida. You know what I'm saying? She out the ghetto. So she can talk about as many ghetto niggas as she want to. Whereas Lovely T is Nigerian. So when she's doing it more talking down. You know what I'm saying? But y'all got to really just be in tune sociology and in tune with the African American diaspora before you would peep what I'm talking about. So anyway, Chi-Chi is not showing love to Aboriginal people in general because she don't give a fuck about Aboriginal people in general. You see what I'm saying? So she's coming at us like the oppressor come at us because in her mind, she's of the oppressor. She's as good as the oppressor, and et cetera, et cetera. So what we have to do is we have to kind of meet motherfuckers where they at and stop thinking that because you supporting the business of somebody that look like you, that you supporting black business. If they're not from here, then you're not supporting black business. Because you got to understand, we're the only ones who don't have, we're trying to build a culture of our own. Black is not a race. Black is a culture. You see what I'm saying? So we need to support our own culture. We need to support the Aboriginal people here of America, and not so much as, you know, anybody that look like us can get down with us. That's not the case, because she's already shown you with her money that she ain't down with you. You know what I'm saying? She's shown you with her gratitude that she ain't down with you. And she didn't take a moment to see what the fuck everybody... She probably been knew Jeffree Star made them videos calling people niggas and chasing and having fights with black girls and calling them niggas and all that shit. But in her mind, that wasn't her people. So Jeffree Star wasn't calling her people niggas. And Jeffree Star was calling them Aboriginal American women niggas. You see what I'm saying? And that's a big fucking difference. That's a big difference. So... And then we have to kind of, you know, call a spade, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, you can't be half woke and be like, you know, I want to boycott this person, that person, this person, you know what I'm saying, that look like you. We have an easier time cutting off people that look like us and boycotting people that look like us and banning people that look like us, and have an easier time inviting the oppressor to the cookout. You know what I'm saying? So we got to kind of pull ourselves and pull our own cord and do a self-assessment within our own Aboriginal communities. Because when are we going to be like, nah, that ain't what's up? You know what I'm saying? To everybody. Not just to the people that look like us. You know what I'm saying? Because we, like I said, we quick to discard our own or our people that share our own genotypical features. But we have a harder time saying no to somebody else. You know what I mean? All these makeup companies are out for a bottom dollar. And none of them out here for loyalty. And you can make all the African millionaires you want. That is still making another continent rich. You need to find an indigenous, Aboriginal made a makeup line here in America that's from here in America. Even Keisha Kayor is Jamaican. So at the end of the day, her money is going to really go towards Jamaica. And then they sold her and, what's his husband's name? I can't think of her husband name. They so whitewash till, you know what I'm saying, none of that money really trickles back down into the Aboriginal or what we call the black community. You see what I'm saying? So we have to watch out for stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The people say what they want to say about Jay-Z and Beyonce, but we see that money trickling back down in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Didn't Jay-Z just pay for the lawyer for some people in Phoenix who was dragged out their car or something for $1 doll or something, Family Dollar? You see what I'm saying? We see their money coming back to the hood. And if you don't see these niggas' monies coming back to the Aboriginal communities that they bust from, then they not Aborigine. They not your folk. Like Jackie ain't say, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. She ain't your kinfolk neither. You feel me? Those were two African women going at each other. You see what I'm saying? While we worried about it getting all lost in the sauce and talking about all this other bullshit, nigga, them ain't our people. Them is not our motherfucking people. And we have to kind of understand that. And we have to kind of set the guideline of what supporting a black business is. You know what I'm saying? You can't support an African-owned business and think you're supporting your own people when be so quick to say that, oh, Africans be talking shit about us, they don't fuck with us, and blah, 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 blah. But we gonna make them rich, right? So they can oppress us along with their oppressors. So they can feel like we are good for nothing, lazy niggas, just like their oppressor put us out there to be. You know what I'm saying? Very few Africans come at us and be like, man, what is y'all story on some real shit? You know what I'm saying? I've had discussions with very few Africans that just did not get it. You know what I'm saying? It took them a while to get it. And then they understood it. And it was a lot of times after they encountered working with Hispanics and stuff like that to where like they really understood, damn, that's really fucked up. You know what I mean? They don't look at our history. They got their own history that they're dealing with over there in Africa, in Kemet. You know what I'm saying? Where their sciences and stuff was stolen and stuff like that. Remember, the Aboriginal people here that's down this part of the world, we are 2,000-3,000 years removed from Africa. We came from there, but those are global people. We have been here. We've been in Jamaica for over 7,000 years, which predates the white man. We've been here over right about 9,000 years, you know what I'm saying, which predates the white man. You see what I'm saying? So we have predated them in every society. So that's why they're so colonial in their mindset anyway. You know what I'm saying? They quick to tell us to go back to Africa, but we're from here. But we don't never see none of them going to Europe. Even when they having an expropriation in South Africa that Julius Malema is trying to head through Parliament, them motherfuckers is going to Australia and other islands. They not going back to Europe. They the motherfuckers need to go home. But anyway, I digress. I'm getting off point. The point is, we can't, as black MUAs, y'all, Black Swan, all y'all, man, get out that bullshit. Them is two African women bumping heads, Jackie and all that there. And true enough, she don't show no love to us. But remember, when Jeffree Star was talking nigga this, nigga that, nigga this, nigga that, he was not talking about her and her people. She did not take it personal. So she had no problem telling him thank you for buying my product and doing the review. I don't really think he bought it. I really do think that they gave it to him. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. And the reason why she ain't never reposted none of y'all doing her eyeshadows and none of her makeup tutorials, because for what? She exploiting the Aboriginal American woman just like them white folk do. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. She's African. You know what I'm saying? They have a different relationship with their oppressor than we have with ours. And we got to understand that, research that shit, and respect that shit. I got on Juvia's place right now. I'm not going to throw my shit in the trash. I fucking bought my shit. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't looking for her to give me no shout out because I'm not in that MUA world. But if I was an MUA artist, I would definitely find an indigenous makeup company. I'm looking for one. If y'all know one, comment below. You know what I mean? Because I'm not into makeup like that. I do it. I buy what I buy and I use what I use. You know what I mean? So, hey, if you want to put me on to some makeup artists that are Aboriginal from here, from America, that American women are producing and putting out, please let me know so I can go buy that. You know what I'm saying? So I can stop buying this Ashanti and Juvia and the motherfuckers who don't give a fuck about us, who gonna tell Jeffree Star thank you. Now Crayon, I do have Crayon Case too. She told Jeffree Star thank you, but I don't think that it was hypocritical of us to not get in her shit because she told everybody thank you. She gave everybody makeup and she showed more love to her own people because she's an Aboriginal woman. She showed love to more to her own people than she did to anybody else out there in the makeup world. You know what I'm saying? That's truth. That's true facts. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear that, oh, Jeffree Star got a thank you from Crayola K. Super told him thank you. That nigga got a half-ass thank you, hey, because you will have access to millions of people. And he did a good commentary on her product. No shade, or nothing like that. But at the end of the day, shit, he gave more shade to Kim Kardashian than he did to Crayola K, because they colors is popping, they pigment is lit, you know? Anyway, so that's what I had to say about that. Again, Juvia, she's an African, and when Jeffree Star was talking about that nigga shit, he was not talking about her. You know what I'm saying? Like Jackie, I ain't to say all kinfolk ain't kinfolk. Just because they melanated don't mean they for you. It probably should mean that, but it don't mean that. Because every race has that problem. You know what I'm saying? Polish and Dutch don't like each other. German and Russia don't like each other. You know what I'm saying? You got Jamaicans that don't fuck with other islanders. You have, you know what I'm saying? Light-skinned Mexicans don't like dark-skinned Mexicans. You don't call a Latina and Hispanic. Don't call a Colombian a Mexican. You know what I'm saying? Every diaspora has that certain animosity. We're just the only ones that need more of a kinship because we are split into too many groups. You know what I'm saying? It's not geological. You know what I'm saying? It has a lot of other bullshit in between it. So y'all just understand what was really going on with that Juvia's Place shit. If you're gonna support the brand, support the brand. If you're not, you're not. But we find it so easy to write off any type of African or Aboriginal owned businesses, and we give each other such a hard time where we don't give these white companies that same hard time that we give ourselves. You know what I'm saying? The way y'all trying to stay on Juvia's Place neck, y'all didn't stay on Gucci neck. You know what I'm saying? I could name so y'all didn't stay on the NFL neck. Y'all didn't stay on Nike neck. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't stay on the necks that y'all need to stay on, but y'all want to stay on this little makeup artist who probably just not getting to her first $2 million if she own that bitch. You know what I'm saying? If she ain't in a 360 contract deal where she got her loans out and she get paid last after several banks and several European entities. You know, so that's what I have to say about that, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to Black Span. And I'm out.